So try to make this session very engaging. Wherever you feel that you're not understanding, please interrupt me and ask your questions. We have precisely, I'll say, uh, 1 hour and 15 minutes. I would try to close more earlier than that so that we can have more question and answers. So one thing is for sure that we have about 58 logins and probably about 100 audience here, and everyone is facing this problem that your students are not learning 100% grasping what you are trying to teach them. So this is a little bit about me, although ma'am has given a very good introduction and informed you of my learnings. Please go through this pledge, everyone, and make an intention that you want to learn today. All right. So now we are talking about holistic development of students and making sure that the learning process is optimal. If we are trying to teach them 100%, at least they grasp 95%. So that is what we want from our students. I will start with a very small story. Okay. If anybody doesn't understand, interrupt me. So the story goes like this. There is this king, and this king is has asked all his men to get him the best painting in the world for his kingdom. So this guy, this painter is summoned, and he is a very, very good painter. So he said that I will make the best painting in the palace. Now there is this another guy who is not a painter, and he says that I will also make the best painting. Everybody is shocked that the guy is not even a painter, and the king might kill him or put him in the dungeons if he is not able to paint and accurately. He said, I will paint exactly the same painting that the world's best painter is going to paint. Everyone is actually now all attentive that what is going to happen. Now the painter asks for 15 days to complete the painting. Everyone is waiting for 15 days to get over. So the painter asks for the best colors, the best brushes, everything that a painting requires. Whereas the other guy asks for good material to clean, wash, dusters, and detergents and everything. Now the D-Day comes. Everyone is waiting for the best painting to be unfolded. The curtains are drawn, and there is a beautiful, majestic painting on the wall. Now everyone is mesmerized with the art and happy. The other guy, he says, let me show the best painting I have made. He draws the curtain, and it's a wall which is showing exactly the same painting opposite to where he was, where the main painting was drawn. So everybody is watching at the painting, and then they realize the wall against which the painting was displayed was cleaned so thoroughly that there was a reflection of that painting. And that is where his art was shown, of clearly seeing the clean wall was actually reflecting the best painting. So the king presents lots of awards to both the guys for being a good painter, and the other one had sent the best message in the world about clearly seeing. If you are clear, if you have clarity, it's as good as the best. So my point, what I'm trying to make here is, I understand the students are not studying, the students are not getting complete, grasping complete knowledge. But if you see clearly the that you are part of the problem too, now that is where we can make a change. If I know that I am the problem, I can solve it, right? So question yourself from time to time about your motives, about your perception. Are you biased? Are you prejudiced? What is limiting your knowledge or your teaching capabilities? There are some reasons where we are lacking as well. So seeing, when you are seeing it clearly, it dissolves all the wrong perceptions and prejudices. It transforms life. People, we are blindsided. We have to get awakened ourselves. If we are awakened, we can surely make a difference in what they are getting now and what they will get after we have actually made a clarity. So let's understand the problem accurately first. Where is the problem? I'll give you my own example. In 10th class, I had topped the school, to my surprise, of course. In plus two again, 12th, I had got very good marks. My picture was in newspapers, and I was like, wow, I did something. Though it was for a very artistic subject, I got in music, I got 100 out of 100, and that is where my percentage went up. And that is why my picture was in the newspaper by the school. So I'm not bragging about it. Let me bring the real reason why I'm sharing that. First exam in my college, and I flunked zero. So from 100, straight away I went to zero in my graduation first exam. Thank God it was not the finals. They were the preliminary exams, political science, and I got scored zero. I could not write anything. I was just blank. I gave the paper and came back. So why does that happen with the students? We have to understand why so that we can change that why and help students become much better and the best versions of themselves. So please understand, freshman year as we call it, or high school, or the first year we call it, it is the most awkward class, awkward time. Let me take you to the why. Believe me, I did not score any marks because it was all confusing. New classes, you are wondering where to take your lectures from. You have clear, you can leave the college at 12. So all the reasons to enjoy, then the changes. So now I will be using the star bursting technique to make you understand. And we'll start with why we need to learn this topic, then how, who, what, where, when. Who is clear? We are the part of problem as well. Now, we want happier students so that there is less absenteeism. They understand, they pay attention, they get higher grades. So, all in all, we want happier students. Happier students will be good in their academics. Now, what is the problem? The transformation from school to college, it's a huge transition. There is loneliness in college, whereas in students you have all your friends from you know your your neighbors, your close friends. But college, everyone is gone. They have different uh, streams, they have different cities, so there is homesickness. There are doubts whether I chose the right subjects. There are a lot of distractions, and I'll talk about that. There is a lot of academic pressure. Earlier in schools, we have subjects to purge out the tension, like physical education, like music, like art, drawing and all. But once we are in the college, it is all hard skills, no soft skills. It's about political science, sociology, psychology, or it is your hard skills in computers or nursing. So what happens? That simple fact of purging out is removed. Now we need happier students. And where does happiness fits into education? Where? I'll just simply say what the researchers have said: the experience of joy, contentment, positive well being, combined with a sense of one's life is good, meaningful, worthwhile, brings happiness. And this feeling will stick the students to the subjects, to the class. So we need to make them understand why psychology, why sociology, why databases, why architecture, why nursing. So the we have to connect them with the bigger why, the bigger mind. Now, as I said, the problem areas, the anxieties of starting college. The first is you are not clear of the map. You don't know where to go, which class is where. So there is a little bit of jitteriness. Now, tragedy of false and forced expectations from parents. I wanted to do medical. My parents got me humanities. So there was a rebellion in me. Okay, I will not study. This happens with many students. They don't want to become doctors, but they are given medical. They don't want to go in non medical or commerce. So there is a pressure from parents, and that pressure shows on the classes. In the classes where students are a rebel, they don't want to study, they don't pay attention, they're non cooperative. So we need to pacify that situation. We need to counsel them there and understand the why. Why did they choose this subject? Right. Then they are worried, they are anxious about ragging. Every college, it says that ragging is an offense. But even introducing yourself to seniors or to peers, when you are an introvert, it becomes ragging for the person. Fear of unknown. They don't know what is going to happen. There is a fear. Then the pattern of subjects changes. Money management. They are all of a sudden moved from their cities to hostels and colleges, where universities, where they have to stay in a different city and they have to manage their own, impressed account or the pocket money they are getting. So that is another additional portfolio given to them. As I said, separation from friends. They left their friends behind in the school. That is another pressure. And there is a pressure of making new friends. There is peer pressure. All these things away from the house. So, additional burden, right? And of course, you have competition. The hormones, right? They are coming from different schools, and then all of a sudden, new boys, new girls, attraction. So they are distracted. They have their mindset towards probably, wooing a girl or a boy, or getting a boyfriend or a girlfriend, because they are away from house and they are looking for intimacy also. So what happens? They are again distracted. Next, handling roommates, peer pressure, right? There is a lot of peer pressure. Somebody likes to keep an organized room, but the peer doesn't do that. Somebody is a teetotaler. The peer, the roomie is probably, likes boozes. So what happens now? This guy is drinking, the other guy doesn't like it, and there's a pressure to prove themselves. They might have to, take a glass or two. So what is happening? Again, there is pressure, peer pressure. Dress up. Somebody is coming from different economical strata. So what is happening? They have good clothes, they have good gadgets, this person doesn't. Another pressure. So it is very, very important that we minimize these issues and give them a happy classroom where we can maximize learning, and we can use some life affirming skills. And now I will be touching upon those life affirming skills. These skills I have also researched from a website, a Netherlands research. So I would share the links so that you can further dig into the data and understand it. Till now, I have covered the why, the how is left. So tell me, do you have any questions till now? Anything you want to share? Any issues like I shared here, the why, the what is happening, where the happiness fits in, what are the anxieties, what are the distractions. Anybody who would like to add anything here? All right. So let me take you to the how part. We have to make our classrooms tribal classrooms. What does that mean? We all are social species. We like to interact, we like to talk to people. So the professors have to build a positive relation with their students. They have to greet the students. You can probably ask a question or two: how's everyone in the family? Set an example by talking to 4 5 students, so that the tension that is built diffuses before you start your lecture. You can even start by asking questions like, who remembers what we did yesterday? Can somebody summarize? So, what happens? Students who were not present can also pick up the topic. Like somebody had in the beginning question that this is the problem, Mr. Avdesh, I guess. Right? Okay, moving ahead. Mindfulness. Now, if you have noticed, before I started the session, I had played some chanting. The frequency of Om helps people to concentrate, helps people to get centered. So, that is another way. Now, I don't say that you play Om or anything in your class, but you can bring that stillness. You can create that moment of stillness by a simple pause in your class. You don't just start and reach the class and start delivering the lecture. A moment of pause. You can ask somebody, okay, can I have your attention, everyone? All right, take a deep breath in, focus on your breath, hold and release. So simple. There is a little bit of, they are all attentive to you. Right. Now, I am finding it a little challenging because your mics are mute and you're not able to interact with me, which is not my usual style. So I would request whosoever is comfortable unmuting, please unmute, and a little bit of hum, yes, no will help me carry on so that I know everyone is hearing. And you can use hand gestures, you can use your mics, so that you can use the comment window, so that we all are together in this, right? All right. So, as I said, mindfulness, you strengthen the parts of the brain in charge of attention, and you bring that emotional regulation. A lot of students are coming from different distractions, or probably the last class was not good, or probably somebody was reprimanded. So, what you do is you take your attention, you take your time. Whatever you are delivering is precious. So, what you do is you bring their faculties to the class. Now, I'm going to give you 10 mantras. This is the third mantra. This is called rewiring the negative bias. See, we were all cavemen. If we go in the ancient times, so we were all cavemen. We were what we call ourselves, our ancestors. They were hunting, right? Hunting to stay alive, to eat. And what happened? They were always in a constant fear of being attacked. So, what happened? They were all in a negative bias, always worried about what can go wrong. Where can I get, I can get hurt. Even if you see a child, you leave a child on a roof and the child walks, but when the child comes at the edge, he or she will stop. Why? Because there is that fear, there is that negative bias that I will fall, which is good, which is not bad. But when it percolates to every aspect of our life, it becomes negative. So, how you can actually bring them to a positive bias is you can simply ask them, tell me, what are the three good things that happened to you in last 1 week? Easy? All right. Now I will request every one of you to tell me right on the chat window three things that went well for you. It can be an appreciation, it can be a good food, it can be good weather, it can be a promotion, as small as a compliment to as huge as a promotion, anything. All right, let me also think what three good things happened with me. All right. Head to the chat window, everyone. I'm stopping the presentation here. Yeah. So all the nodal centers, Dr. Devinder Kumar, Ruchi Gupta, I would ask for one representative to take to the chat window, collect every, 1 second. Yes. So everyone, I want to hear what three good things happened with you in last 1 week. Dr. Devinder Center, Ruchi Gupta, Jerlin, Nepli, Manda. I'm liking the names here. Jerlin, Smilin, Dr. Smita. Okay, good atmosphere, pleasant weather, atmosphere to learn. Thank you, Mr. Avdesh. Get together with my college friends. That's amazing. Okay, I have also written one. A good learning experience, practical aspects of a subject. One paper is published in the journal. Oh, congratulations, Mr. Yogendra. Okay, tell me what else brought happiness to you? What three good things happened with you? Come on, everyone, or I'll just start the music and we'll have to dance, everyone. We're not going to answer. I want everyone to answer and not move forward. Okay, congratulations, Dr. Devinder. You got promotion. Good blessings, department tour finalize. Wonderful. Okay, I'll encourage everyone. Rene Rose, one patent published in machine learning. Congrats, Mr. Yogendra. So you don't have to think about big announcements. You can simply be happy for having a coffee of your choice. You enjoyed your coffee, that is happiness. You wore your best dress, you are happy. So this is how you encourage your students to share what good things happened with them, right? All right, let me move forward. My little girl got her first award in school. Congratulations, Professor Vidya. That is really interesting. A good news. Yeah. So what happens when you are talking about good things? You elevate your mood. Incentive of rupees 10,000 for best performance. Congratulations, Professor Ruchi. Amazing. So, one sec, just you need something. Okay. So the fourth is little bit of stretching. Now, This is not the physical stretching I'm talking about. This is about learning new things. This actually brings happiness. Dr. Professor Yogendra, thank you so much. I feel blessed with this compliment. Being part of the FDP, I'm one of the speakers and I'm happy. I hope I'm part of that. So, if the work is not challenging enough, what happens is we get bored. If there are too many challenges, again, we get overwhelmed. So, what we need is that sweet spot till what point we can be stretched. So, let's say if there is some subject, there is a subject where I don't know anything about it. What happens? I'll be blank, I'll be stretched too far because I have no idea what is happening. But the moment that subject comes in my grasp, I understand a little bit what happens. My interest, my inquisitiveness increases, right? Uh, just wait, please. I'll. No need. I'm sorry. All right. So I was at the stretch part. So as a professor, we need to understand till what level we can take a new topic, right? Okay. Again, this is zone of proximal development. We need to understand and locate that zone of proximal development. I'll just read it out and then I explain. Through applying the concept of zone of proximal development, a teacher identifies what the children knows and teaches him something new to add to, then relates back to something of the prior knowledge. We know that they had a few subjects in their plus one plus two, or in their life they have gone through a particular pattern of education. So we bring that example to make them understand the new concept. So it brings that help, that assistance, that oh yes, it is related. So it can be some example of if we are talking about commerce, we can talk about their kitchen where maths is applied in the groceries or the house management. So we have to bring that zone of proximal development, that yes, oh yes, it relates to something which we have had experience in the past, right? So this is something what the students really don't relate to, they don't understand without assistance. So the professors have to bring them to ZPD. Now the fifth is flow. Now, flow state is the best state to be in, right? When there is a distraction, we cannot come to the flow state. So, flow state concept came from the players, the athletes, the people like who are into running. So, when they are running, there is a discomfort. Your legs are paining, you get fatigued. But at one point, when you keep running a marathon, has anybody run a marathon here? They will understand my point more. So when you are actually running and you come to that flow state, you stop feeling anything. You don't feel any pain. You're just running, right? So that is the state which I'm talking about, which can very easily come when you are also involved in your lecture. So when you are able to focus on what you are doing, you will experience the flow state. Now it's the best, it's the optimal state of psychological being. And your students who actually feel this flow state, they'll have much more learning, much deeper learning, and of course long term interest in subjects, higher level of well-being. So we need to bring the students to that flow state, and by creating an atmosphere that they can lose themselves in their work. So that is an art, of course. Are we all understanding? Did we understand the zone of proximal development? Okay. Okay. All right. So we all understand the flow state, right? I was just opening the chat. I heard something. I thought somebody has written something. All right. Coming to the flow state again. Next is play to their strengths, having hope to overcome challenges. Okay. Thank you, Janet. Now, the next is play to their strengths. Now, what happens? We usually, without realizing, we put the students down. We share so much information without giving them an outlet to express. So, we need to actually play to their strengths. We need to identify the top strengths of our students. We need to show them. Study shows that when we use our strength in novel ways, we are significantly happier. So what we do is we ask the students, what did they do in their plus two, what subjects, what was their strength. So by asking those questions, we are actually bringing up their I am good factor. I have done something factor, which is most important. Can I request all of you? You all have students. Yes, no? Type a yes if you all have students. All right. Vijaya, Dr. Devinder, Yogendra. You all have students, right? Legisha, Paul Raj, Mada, okay. FTP ICT 170. Okay. Rakesh Srivastav. So you all have students. I'm considering remaining all they don't have students. Now, all those who have students, I would like you to write three strengths of your students. And I'm not asking you to name the student, just the strengths of your students. I'm sure your students must be having some strengths. Somebody is a quick learner. Just your favorite, the students you remember. Any strengths of your students? I'm surprised. Is it like slow or you really don't know the strengths of your students? Everyone, I want you to share the strengths of your students. Everyone? All right. Self-motivated guys. Even the faculty is not delivering in class, they will willingly share their technical experience as intern with fellow students. Okay. All right. So please do that. Thank you. Vijay Krishnamurthy says, even the faculty is not delivering in class, they will willingly share their technical experience as intern with fellow students. Okay. Legisha says, good teamwork. So that is one strength of the students there. All right. What else? See, it's very important. We know our strengths, but do we know our students' strength? We need to know the strengths of our students as well. Quick learner, obedient, self-motivated. Okay. I will give you an example of my student. So this student was 20, 21 years old, very young, from first year, I think. Yeah, Narsi Munji College. So I was coaching him. And during coaching, you help the student to perform better, to learn more, to get over some, the person had some emotional issues. So while I was doing that, the students get so involved, and he used to say that, ma'am, you are like my mother. The students get that kind of a feeling from you. And one day I get a courier from Mumbai, and it was a, what do we call it, pepper spray. Now that student had that empathy that, if you are unsafe, please carry this pepper spray. That is the kind of kindness your students have. But we really need to find that out. We really need to acknowledge that. Okay, Professor Vidya says actively participating in all events in my club, ILAMP, and I have 15 members as core team, including myself, to conduct any domain specific events. Wonderful. That is great. Professor Vidya, which college, which university, city?
Ma'am, we are from South India, and it our college is Vellalar College of Engineering and Technology, situated in Erode district, ma'am, Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, why don't you unmute your video and let everyone see the good work you are doing?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
So happy to see you. Keep your video open. It is such a blessing to interact rather than just have a monologue. So I was feeling out of place till I didn't see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And you're doing a great job.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Everyone else, I would encourage all of you to share. I'm sure your students must be having some strengths. If we don't see that, how will we know? Okay. Obedient, good understanding, want to learn something new. All right. I have a buddy group. They will call me as me, alias mom. Oh, interesting. There is, I am a part of an academy in Nigeria. So they will also call me mama, mama. So that is their way of saying ma'am. So interesting when they type a message, I feel, oh, okay, another. So I've got like 4,000 participants in that group, and it really gives me a lot of happiness when I talk to them. Okay, I would encourage everyone to share the strengths of their students. That will certainly bring a sense of involvement. Okay, Professor Ruchi says I'm society coordinator. My society students won hackathon. Hackathon. Oh, amazing. So it was some, I'm sure some, you know, IT event, right? IT hackathon. I organized one in my IT company. All right, good. One of great FTP is going on. It's great experience. Thank you, Professor Yogendra Prajapati. That is really helpful. So when you unmute your videos, I'll be the happiest. Till then, I'll manage. All right. So moving ahead, let me share my screen once again. We were at the flow state. We were at the strengths state. Now, I hope you can see my screen. Respectful students, yes, brings a lot of happiness to the teachers when students are respectful. Absolutely. See, the more teachers look for students' strength, the better teachers feel about their own ability. Our research shows that students' success is directly affecting the teachers' belief in themselves. When your students are successful, you feel that, wow, I developed the student's strength. I have the ability to do something good for the students. So it's very important that we find their strengths, we work on their strengths. Now, because I see that my audience is a little aloof, but come, they're talking less. So let's play a game. Game खेलेंगे सब? Yes, no? All right. I am very energetic and I am very exuberant to play a game with you. Let me start the game. Okay. Tell me, when was your first day at school? Your first day at school. Can anybody remember that? Your first day at school. Okay, you don't have to mention the year. Tricky question, huh? Nobody wants to share when they started studying. All right. Let me ask you, where was your first apartment? You can mention the city. Where was your first apartment? The one you remember. Okay, let me also write mine. Ghaziabad, Bangalore. Mine was in Chandigarh. But I remember the Panchkula one, right? Panchkula. Moradabad. I have been to Moradabad 15 days back. So, Professor Vidya, still in the same apartment, ma'am, but which city? I've got Ghaziabad, I've got Bangalore, I've got Moradabad. Which city? Erode, okay. Ghaziabad. Everyone, I'll encourage everyone to write. Okay, when you were a child, who was your favorite teacher? Okay, right. Who was your favorite teacher? Name your favorite teacher. Rukmani ma'am, science teacher, Jagdale madam. Everyone, remember who was your favorite teacher? Dr. Rajesh Prasad. Okay. Okay, when you were a child, who was your best friend? Your best friend. Okay, Rachna, Anita, Rasna, Geeta. Think, think, think. Who was your best friend as a child? I remember. Okay. All right, let me ask the didn't really have one. Okay. But your parents, probably they were your best friends. Your siblings were your best friends, Shrikant. Yeah? Oh my God. Okay. Everyone, when was your last holiday? I want to ask you all. When was your last holiday? Mine was on 3rd to 8th of February in Dubai. So I had, oh, last Sunday. Wow. Okay. 13th Feb, last Sunday. Your last holiday that you enjoyed, you went out or something. Wow. Kochi. Okay. When was your last holiday? Where did you go? Think hard and tell me. This will give you a hint that time for another holiday, probably. Come to Chandigarh. Chandigarh is beautiful. Okay. Another question now. When you were a child, what were your hobbies? What you really liked to do? So as a child, I used to like cycling. I liked to play cricket. Wow. Read comic books. Yeah, I also read a lot of comics. And I still play cricket. I love cricket. What else? Comics, books reading, playing and listening to music. Yeah, music came a little later in the life, like in teenage, reading. What else? What were your hobbies as a child? Listening to songs, gardening. Wow. See, what I did just now is engage the audience, engage my students who are professors. So, what happens usually, we drift away in the class, we have other responsibilities. Same way, students also have different things in their minds. So, they get distracted. To bring them back, a 2 minutes game or a 3 minutes game can actually make a lot of difference. Thank you so much for sharing and thank you so much for engaging. Yeah, storybooks, watching TV, it all sounds good. And also, don't forget that you have to keep the child in you alive. So you can always restart the habits you have left before. Okay. All right. Now, the seventh point is practice kindness. The best way is to be kind yourself. Teachers who use polite language, who are more respectful towards students, who have more patience, who have more, manners, the students will emulate them because students are also like apes. What you do, they start imitating, they start doing it, they mirror it. So, you could even encourage your children to carry out random acts of kindness, like, a random question. Okay, students, tell me, what kind act did you do in the last, what was your last kind act? When did you acted kindly? Sorry. Tell me, would you like to share when did you act kindly? Probably helping someone, treating someone with tea, coffee, or doing anything, giving a good tip to a waiter. Somebody served you, you gave them a tip. Somebody ushered you, helped you, you helped them. So those are random acts of kindness. You have to share yours and ask them, tell me what would you like to share. So small small things. Like yesterday I was coaching somebody, and the guy was like, ma'am, I'm this and that, and I could feel that the coachee is little lonely, so I invited him over for dinner with my family. That was my way of a random kindness, act of kindness. So probably there are many more huge kindness acts you are doing. I would really like to know them. You can take to the chat window and share it there. All right. Now, next is be optimistic. Optimism is the greatest medicine, I would say. Optimist people are happier, they have good health, they are, away from depression, anxieties, because they are optimistic. They're always thinking ahead, looking forward to something positive happening. This optimism help the challenge to challenge their negative chatter. This will not happen, this cannot go right. So those negative chatters, they are shut down with optimism. Okay. Lastly, see their situation from a more hopeful perspective. What happens, usually the teachers do this mistake, the professor or the mentor does this mistake, that you cannot do this, you're not good at it. These are huge statements. These scar the students, and we should really, really, this kind of commenting should be prohibited, because the student will take you on your words, whereas the professors, the teachers, mentors, coach are responsible to help students break the ceiling. go ahead in their careers, go ahead in their life by breaking that kind of a mindset they are developing, right? Okay. Now, exercise. I always say walk the talk. Exercise is one of the single biggest thing we can do to boost our mental as well as our physical health. So when we exercise, we boost our mental and physical health. So when we do that, we are in good shape. And when we are in good shape, we are walking the talk. We are setting the example for our students. And fitter students, they perform better academically. They have better body language. They have higher self-esteem. So it's very important for us to set an example for our students. Short bursts of exercise raises the heart rate and sends more blood to our brain. The oxygen level increases. So a simple, going into class, okay, everyone, I want you to clap. I want you to stand up. I want you to stretch. So what happens? The student, all of a sudden, their heart rate increases and it sends oxygen to their brain and they start thinking better. Isn't it easier than shouting, yelling, I want your attention, I want everyone to listen to me? Isn't it better that we just tell them to stand, give 4 5 instructions, stand at ease, attention, start the parade, stand still in your on your desk, but keep walking, on the spot walking. All these things will generate that oxygen to their brain. And feel good hormones like dopamines, like endorphins, they are released by exercise only, right? And they also are neurotransmitters. They boost your brain power. So simple. When you walk, when you run, when you are doing some exercise, you generate those feel good hormones. All right. Again, as I said, walk the talk. Practice what you preach. A happy teacher makes a happy classroom. A happy student will be learning more, will have a better grasping power, will be retaining more of the knowledge you are imparting. So, most important, walk the talk. Be happy yourself. The one factor that will make your classroom happier is you yourself. Children, they look to us for stability. So we are the captains of the ship. We have to be in ship shape ourselves. If we are upset, if we are sad, if we are tense, if we are stressed, that will percolate to the students. That will surely, rub down on the students as well. So it's very important that we are sane, we are not stressed. Okay. Next is focus on your own well being. Pace yourself. Set boundaries for your work and your rest, right? So that you can be restful and you are distressed before entering a class. Please do that and keep recharging yourself on a daily basis. I'm telling you, exercises boost your mental health, your physical health. So, before reaching college, you must make sure that you are indulging in some exercise, because if you are not exercising, you will be stressed. Your body will be, adding extra fat. So, what happens? You are lethargic, you are, it rubs on your mindset also, you become little pessimistic, stress levels increases, and that does not make your classroom happy, right? So, please make sure that you work on it. All right. The most important for these times when the students have no dearth of knowledge, internet is giving them a plus one student can read about the NASA studies. So what happens? There is no, there is no lid on that knowledge. What happens? They're gathering knowledge. The students who are already they've covered the subjects you are trying to teach them. So it's very important that we collaborate with the students, and there are a lot of collaborative tools also But for the first thing is, you know, asking questions. Children have a lot to offer. Give them a voice, share the planning, share responsibility among students, and make small groups. Let them come up with the collaborative data that you are talking about, that you are going to teach in your subjects or to today's lecture. So you can give them a prior knowledge that tomorrow I am going to teach about blah blah blah, right? Let's say geography, we'll be talking about the Taj. So I would encourage everyone to bring data and we'll have a group discussion. Who all here are doing this already? Are you collaborating with your students? Yes, no. Do you give them assignments before starting a subject also? Sometimes, yes. Okay. So I would really encourage all of you to share how you are collaborating with your students. Anybody who wants to unmute and share how you are collaborating? Absolutely, Professor Shrikant, they enjoy hands-on activities. So we need to give them those activities. Now, as I said that let's play a game. So pit stops are important too, enjoyment breaks to refresh their mind, their brain. And there are a lot of such activities. I have a few, but your videos are mute, so I really don't understand whether you are all with me or not. All right, so this you can see here is the book I've written. Here. So this is called Life Lessons by Coach Anuradha. Publishers are Notion Press. You can feel free to order it from Notion Press or Amazon or Flipkart, Kobo. It's available worldwide. It's globally released. That was a breaker, huh? A trailer in between. Commercial, as we say. All right. The next is right competition. It's very important. See, as we say, collaboration is king, cooperation is queen. There is very important fact as professor, as a professional, you also need that cooperation. No one should be burning out and working themselves into the ground. And no one should be worried about their status as a competent teacher. Very important that we collaborate as teachers also, right? We don't compete, rather we inspire each other. Now, like somebody here shared, right, that this is what I am doing. Now, everyone should rather clap or ask more questions. How can I also do it? So, this is kind of collaboration. This is not a competition, right? Being non competitive, being satisfied that you are doing a good job, working as a team of learners makes all the difference. So you collaborate in the staff room, ask each other, what are you doing differently? What can I do? Or what have I done? These kind of sharing sessions bring all the, all of you will be elevated. You will all be learning there. Now seek flow, not superiority. As I told you, flow state. Go in that state rather than that superiority that I am a better teacher than you. All right, my favorite is coaching. Now teaching is focused on imparting knowledge, sharing. Teacher is in charge of the interaction. Student is like only on the receptive end, but we have to change that and bring more of a coaching method. Coaching means that you have to bring out the best in your students. You have to understand your students, understand where they stand, what is their sweet spot, and then impart knowledge so that they keep getting elevated. Good teaching is good coaching, achieved through modeling and feedback to achieve high quality of work together. So what you do is you give feedbacks, you model the behavior you want from the students. right? This will surely bring more result. And as I am always saying, go wild. Go wild doesn't mean that, go mad, but no, you take them to the wild. Once in a while, take your students out of the class. I recently did it in knitter only when I was in sector 26 on a personal session. So I took the students out, the professors out in the garden, in the ground, to impart them the same coaching which were imparting in the conference room. So nature is a powerful resource. Children can learn from practical hands-on activities. You can tap on their curiosities by giving them posing questions which they are surprised about. It is a social experience and children learn from working together. So make sure that you're taking them outdoors, you're making them collaborate with each other, you're giving them questions they are surprised and they are inquisitive about, and ask them to Google it and come back to you the next day. Right? All right. So my quick tips, and then we will open the forum for questions. Allow your students to connect previous knowledge or experience with that of the current learning. This I had covered through proximal development, right? Second is encourage them frequently, whenever, and it should be genuine. It should not be ingenuine because that is taken as a sarcasm. Be sure that they have actually earned your praise. Yeah. So they don't get offended. So be realistic in your praise. Some student have answered, you liked it, and you praise them. Give your students an idea of how far they have come. Show them that this is where they started from, and this is now what they have learned, what they have achieved. This gives them a lot of self affirmations. Please play superheroes to bullying. Stop bullying. There are students in the class who are bullying. So teachers really have to play that superhero and put the student down who is trying to bully others. So these are a few points that I got references from these tools. I can share the links with you if you ask for, or just take a screenshot here.